Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be speaking about the Tennessee State Quarter, worth a fair amount more than 25 cents. Some of these are going to be normal, like the one in my hand, but some of these have some characteristics that you want to search for, extra special stuff. They also could be in a conditional rarity, so there's a fair amount that you could potentially have going on, even though it's pretty tough. And again, most of these are going to be 25 cents. You want to know the full picture, and that's what this presentation that we're about to head to is going to show you. And we'll dive right into the Tennessee Statehood Quarter, which ones are valuable. On the front, we've got the trumpet, the fiddle, and the guitar, sort of that musical heritage, Nashville as a center of music. But I want to focus on the valuable stuff. Feel free to pause here. Really, in terms of the P-Mint coins, you want to look for the double die obverse. It's a really minor variety, but it's still worth searching for just because it's worth like $3 to $10 on an otherwise coin that's never going to be above 25 cents, unless it's an error, and more on that later. But a little bit of a second ear there protruding underneath the main one. So that's really going to be the die marker there. There's also on the Denver Mint a more noticeable one that I personally like a little bit more. So you can search both. You don't even have to look at the mint mark on Tennessee coins. Can just sort of look at what is underneath that ear. And this one also having a similar valuation range. Now, in terms of some of the conditional rarities, if it's going to be mint state 69, you can submit it $200. There's a nice premium there, but it's pretty high risk, and it's not like they give out those grades for free. So something to just be aware of. Probably don't submit these and only go with PCGS if you're going to. Similarly, 68's the highest grade that's been observed on the D-Mint, and the valuation is not there, nor is it on the clad proof or the silver proof. So it's almost important to know what not to do. One thing that you can certainly look for, this is one of the coolest errors, I think, out there in state quarter history, though it may not be in the top 10 or 15 or 25, value-wise, this one sold for $1,500. I'd be curious to see what it would do if it came up for auction today, because that was back in 2006, but the coin flipped over completely after having received a full strike. It stayed in the collar between the two dies, and that flip over, you can see here, the obverse of the coin, or the second strike, comes over the previous, outline of the trumpet as Washington's chin, the guitar for his forehead and temple. Really, really interesting. Now, there's some other crazy ones. This obverse clad layer missing is pretty significant as well. There's a copper core, nickel on the outside, or the clad layer on the outside, and sometimes the strip runs out when they're punching the coins out. Seems more common with the state quarters, but this one sold for $310. And then lastly, this is one of those more valuable ones. I think the first error I showed you was cooler, but this one was struck on a dime planchet instead of a quarter, so it's far smaller. Somebody might have picked this out of circulation or gotten it in a dime roll and said, this is crazy, this certainly is going to be valuable, and somebody really paid up for it back in 2002, or maybe it was even sort of picked out earlier than that by a mint employee or something, because it's in really nice shape. But great to have a little bit of a survey of these quarters, some of the error stuff to look for. Also encouraging that both on the Philadelphia and Denver Mint coins, you can find some of the doubled ear, which is a more common variety that's seen on lots of different statehood quarters, but I've been going through all the different statehood quarters and making presentations on them, so be sure to look out for any other coins, and other statehood quarters in your change, because there's more than likely, I think like 44 of the 50 have some significant variety, and then there's always error potential additionally. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social media platforms. You can also go to my main channel website, treasuretownYT.com, to learn more about the channel and sort of stay in contact. I also will eventually host all of these videos on coinsmetalscards.com, which will be both news, marketplace, and coin information. I do have the goal of eventually getting pretty much every U.S. coin, date, mint mark, denomination on the channel with a similar video to the one that you just watched, and that will likely all be hosted there. And then I also have treasuretowncoins.com, which is sort of my coin dealing wing, coin dealing only entity that is a little bit less focused on content production. So thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. I also have videos that are not just the date mint mark denomination recap in this format, so you can check some of those out, and I'll have fun seeing you there.